from disturbing photos of the former Prince Andrew to his alleged sharing of government documents with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the fallout from the Epstein files once again putting the British royal family into turmoil. Andrew has denied all wrongdoing, but the pressure is now ramping up on the royals to do and say more about their disgraced relative. The crown under fire.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Epstein?
From King Charles to Prince William, shouted at in Saudi Arabia.
To what extent do you think the royal family has done enough around the Andrew and Epstein issue?
ITV also capturing Queen Camilla getting tough questions too.
Do you have a message for Epstein's victims, Your Majesty?
We've never actually seen other members of the royal family heckled to the extent that we have in the last few days.
The royal family forced to confront the fallout from former Prince Andrew's relationship with disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
These Epstein files have put so much information into the public domain, but they've also raised a lot of questions.
Fallout for the now former Prince Andrew.
After new images of the former royal were revealed in the latest release of Epstein files.
The royal family rocked.
I think that they're definitely rattled. It feels like they're very much on the back foot.
The British monarchy, known for keeping a stiff upper lip, facing a growing outcry to say and do more.
This is uncharted territory for the Crown. They need to be doing a forensic look at Andrew. Unlike politicians, who can often blame the previous administration, that's difficult for Charles. He can't undermine his late mother's legacy, but he does need to protect the institution.
Among the millions of pages recently released by the Justice Department related to Epstein, these photos, undated and lacking context, of King Charles's younger brother crouched over a young woman. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing. Emails also appear to show Andrew sharing government documents with Epstein from a 2010 tour of Southeast Asia while serving as Britain's trade envoy. Thames Valley Police saying they are assessing the information. Now Buckingham Palace weighing in, a spokesperson for King Charles telling ABC News in part, while the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we will stand ready to support them as you would expect.
Well, it was an extraordinary statement from Buckingham Palace, the King's profound concern. He wanted to be seen on the side of the law, so he stated he would support the police if they chose to question Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
A spokesperson for Prince William and Princess Catherine saying they're deeply concerned by the continuing revelations and that their thoughts remain with the victims.
Individual members of the royal family, when they're asked about this, they're very quick to say our thoughts are with the victims. But if you look at what the victims are saying and what the victims want accountability.
Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, welcome.
Only one royal has actually spoken when asked about the controversy, the King and Andrew's youngest brother, Prince Edward, speaking at the World Government Summit.
I think it's all really important always to remember the victims. And who are the victims in all this?
Absolutely.
A lot of victims in this.
And now a new alleged victim coming forward, reportedly claiming that she too was trafficked to Andrew by Epstein. Her attorney telling the BBC the encounter allegedly occurred at the former prince's residence, Royal Lodge, in 2010. The woman was in her 20s at the time. ABC News reached out to Andrew, but he did not respond. And it's not just the royal family. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is also facing backlash for having appointed Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the U.S., despite his alleged ties to Epstein.
Keir Starmer has apologised. He's apologised directly to Epstein's victims. Now, he's apologised as a result of the fact that he chose to employ Mandelson.
In his resignation, Mandelson said he felt regretful and sorry for having been linked to Epstein. It's been a dramatic fall from grace for the once beloved son of Queen Elizabeth.
This probably does impact to an extent Elizabeth II's legacy. She had a soft spot, some would say blind spot, for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and Charles inherited this mess.
In October of last year, the king stripping his brother of his remaining royal titles and evicting him and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, from their 30-room home at Royal Lodge. Ferguson, once known simply as Fergie, became a media darling in the 1980s when she became Andrew's girlfriend.
By now, we all know who she is. Sarah Ferguson, age 26, upbringing impeccable, social connections excellent.
Their marriage capturing the world's attention.
I want to be a good wife to you.
So too did their divorce.
The Duke and the Duchess of York, better known as Prince Andrew and Fergie, are planning a formal separation.
Andrew's dating life over the years chronicled in the tabloids, who dubbed him Randy Andy. But Ferguson continued to live at the same home as Andrew at various times over the past 30 years. Now, she too is ensnared in the Epstein controversy. According to an email in the files, Ferguson and her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, flew to Miami to visit Epstein less than a week after he was released from prison in July 2009. Another email allegedly sent from Ferguson to Epstein writing, "Thank you, Jeffrey, for being the brother I have always wished for."
Sarah Ferguson is all over the Epstein files. Certainly will have impacted the Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Can't see a way that Sarah Ferguson can come back from this.
She has not commented on the recent disclosures about Epstein. More than a decade ago, she publicly stated she regretted the relationship. For years, Andrew has been under scrutiny for his friendship with Epstein.
Prince Andrew was a frequent visitor to Jeffrey Epstein's homes, not only in Manhattan, but also on his private Caribbean island. And we know that the two traveled in similar circles.
The late Virginia Giuffre alleged that she was a victim of sex trafficking and abuse by Epstein, and long claimed that he forced her to have sex with Andrew when she was just 17. In an interview with the BBC's Panorama, Giuffre detailed her allegations against the then prince.
Ghislaine tells me that I have to do for Andrew what I do for Jeffrey. And that made me sick. I just didn't expect it from royalty.
Andrew has denied the allegations. He was asked about Giuffre in that 2019 BBC interview.
I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
That rare television interview backfired spectacularly for Andrew.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
But Giuffre said that this now infamous photo of the two of them together backs up her account.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth, and I know that's me.
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
In 2022, Andrew settled a lawsuit with Giuffre for an undisclosed sum, but denying any wrongdoing. Giuffre died by suicide in 2025, before the Epstein files were released by the Justice Department. Epstein survivors making their voices heard with this PSA, released on Super Bowl Sunday.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
And Giuffre's family standing with lawmakers as they introduced Virginia's law, which would end the statute of limitation barriers for survivors of trafficking and abuse.
I want to begin with a single word. A word that meant everything to my sister. A word we will not stop fighting for until real justice is served. And that word is change.
Now, some lawmakers are even calling for Andrew to testify before Congress.
One of the reasons that makes this so potent and so difficult for the royal family is that it's not going anywhere. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything in the near future without this dominating the narrative around them.
And of course, we'll continue to follow this story as it evolves.